Hello and welcome back. In this Black Excellist series, we will highlight the 10 blackest states in the nation.
Welcome to blackexcellist.com, the site where we share Black excellence, opulence, and affluence. Our mission is to inspire you as we enlighten you.
The 2020 census results have made clear that America's diversity explosion is continuing, with Black and Brown populations increasing significantly and much faster than expected. Black Americans still lag behind whites and Hispanics and remain the third largest ethnic group, but our natural population growth is robust. Furthermore, Black immigrants entering the country have tripled over the past 40 years, contributing even more to Black America's solid population growth. Today, there are more than 47 million Black Americans, making up over 14% of the U.S. population. We are changing the face of America along with its culture, workforce, and spending habits. And while all 50 states are more racially diverse than ever before, Black Americans gravitate to 10 states where 6 out of 10 Black Americans live. In this original Black Excellist video, we will present the 10 blackest states in America. So without further ado, let's get started. Number 10, Pennsylvania, with a Black population of 1.62 million. Pennsylvania is among the states with the highest numbers of departing African American residents. Diminishing populations remain a trend nationwide, but Pennsylvania ranks number 13 in terms of outbound movers. More than 35% are movers leaving for new jobs, 28% left for family reasons, and 20% left for retirement. Number 9, Ohio, with a Black population of 1.65 million. Because of its social stance as an anti-slavery state, Ohio was a destination for a number of escaped slaves before the Civil War. Ohio was important in the operation of the Underground Railroad. Some escaped slaves passed through Ohio on the way to Canada, but a large number settled in Ohio, helping grow cities like Cleveland and Cincinnati. Today, Columbus, Ohio is surprisingly one of the top 20 cities that gained a significant amount of African Americans during the new Great Migration. In fact, Columbus is the only city on the list that was not in the South. Number 8, Virginia, with a Black population of 1.78 million. Virginia also has a very large population of African Americans, most of whom are descendants from early America. While a large percentage of the Black population left during the Great Migration north, reverse migration since the early 2000s is bringing professionals back. These days, Virginia's inner cities are becoming a hotbed of millennials looking for affordable housing and very good schools. Not to mention the amenities of being in the vicinity of Washington, D.C., with one of the best job markets and lowest unemployment rates in the country. Number 7, Maryland, with a Black population of 1.92 million. Maryland's Black population has held steady over the past decade, but its shrinking white population is no longer the majority, reflecting the nationwide trend. Black and Brown populations, with the help of Latino and Asian residents, have overcome the 50% mark. The affluent and majority Black jurisdiction of Prince George's County had the 4th highest population increase in the state, going up by 12% in the past 10-year period. Number 6, North Carolina, with a Black population of 2.36 million. Black professionals are moving from northern cities like Detroit, New York, and Chicago to Charlotte, Durham, and Raleigh to take banking and tech jobs. North Carolina has grown 10% over the last decade, outpacing the national average due to its booming economies, neighborhood diversity, low crime rates, and support for Black entrepreneurship. In Charlotte and Raleigh, Black household income is higher than in most other big cosmopolitan cities across the nation. Number 5, California, with a Black population of 2.77 million. In 2000, California had the country's second largest Black population at more than 2.2 million people. But under the surface, a seismic shift was happening in where people lived, the opportunities they chased, and the social networks they relied on. In the past 25 years, the Black population has plunged 45% in Compton, 43% in San Francisco, and 40% in Oakland. California has dropped 4 spots as Blacks are leaving California in droves as they migrate to emerging middle-class hubs for Black ownership, education, and entrepreneurship. Number 4. New York, with a Black population of 3.38 million. New York State as a whole has been experiencing a lot of out-migration to other states over the past decade, losing African Americans to other states. The losses to New York City are expected to continue, and the overall population for New York State likely won't change much in the coming years. But despite the effects of the new Great Migration, where Blacks are transitioning back down south, African Americans will continue to constitute one of the longer-running ethnic presences in New York City. Number 3. Georgia, with a Black population of 3.44 million. The epicenter of the southward migration is Georgia, whose Black population nearly doubled from 1.8 million to 3.5 million from 1990 to 2019. This new migration is being led by college graduates, retirees, and middle-class families. Georgia and its beloved Atlanta has a way of resonating with Black America. The Black population here is diversifying because of influxes of migration from different parts of the world. Metro Atlanta has the 4th highest number of Black immigrant residents, trailing DC, Miami, and New York. For upwardly mobile Blacks, the job-creating Georgia represents a new land of opportunity, entrepreneurship, lower taxes, and a higher quality of life at a lower cost. Number 2. Florida, with a Black population of 3.65 million. Although roughly half of Florida's urban areas have seen their Black population decline in the past decade, Florida remains one of the top states for African American residents, with concentrations of Black residents in southern and central Florida. The African American presence in the peninsula extends as far back as the early 18th century, when enslaved African Americans escaped from slavery in Georgia down south into the swamps of Florida. Additionally, Spanish conquistadors brought over enslaved people from Africa to provide human labor needed in Florida. This influx of African Americans created a populace by the early 1900s, where Black people made up nearly half of the state's population. Florida has since lost tens of thousands of Black residents in the Great Migration from 1910 to 1960. And even in the modern age, Black Americans are slowly trickling out of the state, chasing higher quality, more affordable housing. Number 1. Texas, with a Black population of 3.73 million. Both free and enslaved people of African descent were part of the population that settled Texas in the 17th and 18th centuries. Texas was then under Spanish rule, and the enslaved population was afforded some rights that included the right to purchase freedom, right to protest against abuse, and rights to interracial marriage. Hundreds of Black settlements sprouted up in Texas after the Civil War, with the majority located in the eastern half of Texas. Today, Texas has the largest African American population in the country, with close to 4 million living in the Lone Star State. African Americans are also helping drive the big population boom that the state has experienced in the past decade. And Houston is leading the way. It is an emerging Black Mecca, making a name for itself for African American political power, education, economic prosperity, and culture.
We appreciate the fact that you stayed with us until the end. Thank you for spending time with us, and don't forget to like this video. Also, make sure you subscribe so that you never miss a video. Bye for now. We will see you tomorrow.